Assalamualaikum and hello. I'm your host Hanny Yusof and welcome back to Pink Scarf. As promised, in this episode we're going to meet another special guest who's going to share with us her journey towards becoming a successful career woman. In the last episode, we have met Puan Hajah Siti Salma, who has shared with us her enormous passion in the arts, especially in handicrafts. In this episode, we're going to delve into the arts of baking cakes, and we're going to meet one of the most well-known bakers in Brunei. I bet everyone's looking for the best cakes to complete their Hari Raya. What is Hari Raya without cakes? Personally, I love to have my cakes in a cozy place while enjoying soft music. Well, this lady that we're going to meet today has everything in one place. In fact, we're right here at her cake house and cafe. This lady is well known for her cake batik and cake lapis. I'm sure you can't wait to meet her. So, stay with us on Pink Scarves. All right, I'm right here at Sapphira Cake House and Cafe with the co-founder, Puan Dayangku Maria. Assalamualaikum, Puan.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you so much for having us here.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming and inviting me to be part of this
And
program.
I can see that you've prepared so much.
Yes, we have something for you to try later on.
Yeah, so can you explain what these are? I can see cake lapis, but
Yeah.
you know, when I just see colors.
Yes.
So I don't know what it is.
We eat with our eyes, right?
Yeah.
So basically we have cake lapis and some cake batik. So let me introduce you to this. This is cake lapis Nutella. We have mohiba, it's just strawberry. Biscoff, it's the current trend. Masam manis is sour plum. We have madu kemenyan, it's honey and chocolate. And cake batik strawberry for this one for today.
So all of these, which one is the best seller, or out of all of the cakes that we have at Sapphira?
Out of all, it really depends on preferences.
Yeah.
You know, we have some who loves fruits and some who likes chocolate. So for fruit, it would be traffic light, which is prune and masam manis, which is this one. And for chocolate, Nutella is our top seller, and our Cadbury.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now we want to know, how did Sapphira Cake House first start?
So Sapphira started back in 2004. So Sapphira is actually home base. It's founded by my mother, Hajah Nori. She's the main person, you know, for Sapphira. So back in 2004, we did it for 1 year, a home base. It's a hobby for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she loves baking and cooking, and then you know when she craves for something, she'll start baking. And I guess what inspires her with kueh because of Begawan Solo. Yeah, Begawan Solo is her inspiration.
So she's inspired by a Singaporean.
Yes, correct.
Cake.
Yeah. So initially, how we started, it was not with cake lapis or cake batik. It's with kueh.
Kueh.
Talam. Yeah. So we did it at home, and then we opened up a kiosk at the Mall Gadong for 1 year. That is like a trial and error journey for us for a year. Back then, I was still studying, so my mom was the main person, you know, producing, going up and down from KB because that's where we're based from KB. So she's the one who does the baking and selling on her own, while sending me off to to school because I study in Banda. So it's a road trip for us every day, every morning. So we start off Subo, 5 in the morning. We'll come up to Banda. So I will help her set up her kiosk in Gadong, and then I will go off to school after that. So while I'm in school, she does her selling at the mall. When I'm back from school, then I'll be meeting her at Gadong Mall. So that's how we started.
Oh, started from your mom's hobby.
Yeah.
In baking kueh at first, and then cake.
Yeah, along the way we started then with cake lapis and batik.
So the kiosk was back in 2004.
For 2004, it started for a year, like an R&D for her back home. And then in 2005, that's when she started the kiosk at the Mall Gadong. Then from there for 1 year, then she with the positive feedback from the customers, that she should start to open her own place. So coincidentally, that this place in Kulaf back in 2006, it was available. So she pushed herself with with the support from her customers and the family. She opened her first cafe here in 2006. Yeah, it started off with a small lot, which is one lot. And then alhamdulillah, for the past 2 to 3 years, we extend to 3 shop lots.
So what is your biggest inspiration in this line of work?
In this line of, I think it's more of what inspired us.
Yes.
Both me and my mom is sharing what we love. We love food and desserts, and because she's passionate with her cooking, so she loves sharing it with others. Yeah, because it's not just like back home, she loves entertaining guests. So it's the same thing here for her. She loves entertaining her customers. Yeah, I think it's the customer's experience that she loves.
Right. And what would you say for those people who think these cakes are seasonal, but you're selling it all year round? But what do you think about it? Is it something that is, seasonal, only like during one season it would be hot, and then other seasons it wouldn't be so much? How is it like selling cake lapis in a cafe?
Yeah. So like as I mentioned before, that it's always been Western cake out there, any cafes. So having our traditional cakes, it was a challenge because we don't know how it is initially at the kiosk, because it's grab and go. But once you're in a cafe, you have to dine in. So we want people to have dining experience to have with our local cakes.
Yes.
So it feels like, I can't say it's a seasonal thing. It used to be seasonal thing.
It used to be.
It used
to
be a seasonal thing. But I guess we break that barrier.
Yes.
So it's every day's Hari Raya here.
Yes, you're right.
Cakes, cake lapis, kueh, mueh. And then because I think for us, a Bruneian, for breakfast, we love to have we love heavy food. So kueh is part of, it's something heavy as well. So it's you can't say it's just for high tea. It's for daily consumption, I guess.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. So you're really breaking that barrier. Actually, cakes like cake lapis and cake batik is something that you can enjoy every day, not just during Hari Raya.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So that's what really is unique about Sapphira.
Yes.
Now, talking about the name Sapphira, maybe you could tell us a story about how came up with
Sapphira.
the name.
So Sapphira is actually it's my youngest sister's name. Yeah, her name is Nadia Sapphira. But it's a different spelling. So we thought of Sapphire. So that kind of like it doesn't really meet the traditional name. So we go for Sapphira. So it's more like it's like a game for us, to think of a name for the for the cafe. So we thought of our youngest sister. So we just make the spelling different. So I guess Nadia, the lucky one.
Oh yeah, it's named after her. Yeah, you're right. And now you've mentioned about traditional elements. Maybe you could talk about the design of this cafe. It's very cozy. What is the theme, and what inspired you and your mother to come up with the theme of this cafe?
So the cafe is decorated by my mom. She's a huge, how do you say, she loved the kampong vibe I guess, because my mom is originally from Sarawak. So, it reminds her of her childhood. So she wants to implement that in the cafe, to have that ambience, to have that environment, and to have the deco in the cafe. And because it's, because of our main products, it's, traditional cake and kueh. So I guess it suits the whole environment with our product that we have in the cafe.
All right. Now, when talking about cakes or kueh, maybe you could talk about kueh or cakes because you sell both kueh and cakes,
correct.
right? What do you think are the most important elements that make up the perfect, delicious kueh and cake?
I think it all depends. It all goes down to the ingredients. Sometimes, when you're in the food business, we all think about costs, right? Costs. So some people would prefer to cut their costs because they want to sell at a lower price. But for us, because we feel like there's no we go for quality, premium ingredients because like I said, it's a passion. You don't want it to be halfway. So we rather go up for a higher cost for customer satisfaction. And so, customer satisfied, we're happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. So when you think about, cakes, is it the taste? Is it the color? What kind of, thinking do you go about? How's the process like when you bake, these beautiful, colorful cakes?
So there's always a saying, we eat with our eyes, especially now you have social media.
You're right.
It's the one who eats the food first.
Yes.
But of course, for us, it's definitely the taste first, the quality, the ingredients. Secondly, will be how it looks like.
Yes.
Because colors, we look at colors, but some people, they can be intimidated by colors because they may say, oh, it's unhealthy. There's some who are conscious about their health. But it's cake lapis. Who doesn't love colors, right?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, what is cake lapis without colors, right?
Exactly.
All right, actually, after this, we will enjoy the cake and we will chat more after this. Welcome back to Pink Scarf with me, your host, Hanny Yusof, and we're still here with our special guest, Puan Dayang Kumaria, the co-founder of Sapphira Cake House and Cafe. Previously, I had the honor of enjoying delicious cakes and coffee with her at her cake house, and now we are going to dig it a little deeper about how far her business has grown and her personal journey as a woman entrepreneur. All right, Puan. So we would like to know how you and your mother found the inspiration to innovate all these different types of traditional cakes.
I think for both my mom and I, what inspires us is the modern taste that we have now, currently now. Because we have to be in trend with the current market, especially now because we have all this younger generation who start to who like to try different things, right? So, for example, like Biscoff. So we try to incorporate Biscoff into cake lapis because cake lapis, the secret behind it is that it has a similar batter for all the cakes. It's just that we just have to twist the recipe a bit in terms of putting in new flavors in. So whatever that's on the shelf in the market that we see. You know, we try. We would usually like a jam, like like a spread. Like they have this current spread. It's called.
Lotus?
Lotus Biscoff is one of it, an example. So we use that and just we do an R&D on it because apparently that's the new favorite now. So I think that's what started with us doing innovating the recipe for the traditional cake lapis.
So you are creating a fusion between the modern taste as well as the traditional element of cake lapis and the traditional cakes that we have. So yeah, you're right. This would actually attract all the younger generation to get into traditional cakes. And this is something that is very inspiring as well, in which you try to innovate. Now I'm going to ask a controversial question. Which cake is your favorite?
I would say batik. I'm never a favorite of cake lapis. I think it's a childhood memory that I had back then with cake lapis. And because I see cake lapis every single day. So batik is my most favorite because I'm a big fan of chocolate.
Oh yes, yes. And it's kind of like the fudge from the cake batik.
Yeah, especially that when it's freshly baked before it's put into the tray. I usually would dip spoon into the hot pan when the batik is when it's still cooking. That's the best part.
You're right.
When it's hot.
When it's still hot
and fudgy.
That is the best time to enjoy cake batik. And we are seeing, I think we can all agree that Sapphira Cake House is a pioneer when it comes to serving traditional cakes, not only during Hari Raya season, but every day.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
And we can see this emerging, you can see emerging new businesses who are actually doing the same thing, similar thing that Sapphira Cake House is doing. What was your reaction to this?
I think for both myself and my mom, it's surprising. It's a good surprise because you rarely see restaurant or cafes serving traditional cakes. It's always the Western cakes, So I think for us, it's rewarding in terms of to see that people are actually exploring that now, especially small cafes. They're exploring with traditional cakes. So I feel like it's time to have our traditional cakes to be out there for everyone else to try, not just the locals, even for tourists. So it's part of, I feel like it's like part of food tourism, I think.
Okay. So you're seeing it as kind of a healthy competition.
It's a healthy competition, definitely.
And it's a way of promoting traditional cakes and adding a little bit of other elements from globally as well. Like the Western influence as well.
Exactly.
All right. So far, as you are working and establishing your business, what was the most rewarding experience and the proudest achievement that you had?
And I'm sure my mom would agree with me on this, is that it's a brand recognition. We started off like 15 years ago being a home base. And then after 15 years, it's nice to hear that people know the brand name, like Sapphira. And it's not just among the locals, but also among the expats. We have, alhamdulillah, we got customer base outside of Brunei as well that knows about Sapphira. So I think it's a brand recognition that we've been building for the past 15 years.
You're right. Now that it has become a household name, whenever you mention Sapphira, people will connect it with your cake house and the delicious traditional cakes that you serve. Previously, I also had the honor of meeting your mother and being your kitchen assistant for a little bit. Not sure if I was helpful. But it was a wonderful experience meeting your mother. And you also shared how you started getting into baking when you were in school and you learned it from your mother. So we would like to know how your mother started getting into baking.
My mom she has always been, the main cook at home. So she loves cooking. And then baking, she started baking back in 2004. That's when, when she started, when she retired and being at home, and then she started baking. And especially that when she started misses something, because her favorite, I don't know if you've heard, Megabond Solo of Singapore. So when she started craving for something, she would start baking. And I guess that because every time when she started baking, there's always a story behind it. You know, for example, like her favorite from Darussalam would be they call it kue salad, which is surimuka. So there's always a story behind her baking of a memory when she was studying in Singapore, especially that when she, we've never met our grandmother. So from her, the story from my mom is that my late grandmother, she's a great cook. So pretty much like, myself and my sisters, we get to know our grandmother even though we don't get to meet her because, she passed away when my mom was 12 years old. So I guess most of her memories are from the cooking that, that she learned from her mom. So whenever she starts to miss something or she wants to, when she cook or bake, there's always a story behind her food.
So you mentioned just now that it has been 15 years. Yeah. So I'm sure that you have learned a lot throughout the years. So could you share with us the learning experience that you have gained so far?
Yeah. I think for myself, especially now that I'm working with my mom, it's a huge challenge. It's a different challenge really working, for a family business versus, for someone else, for a company. Because you have, I'm having my boss behind my back 24/7, sitting here every day asking for deadlines. So it's a huge challenge. So it's more like more learning on being patient, being patient. And I guess with the family business, I get to learn on management. It's different really because you're managing your own people. So I've learned a lot on the business side, and besides that, on the product side, which is baking. Like I said, I've never been a fan of cake lapis, but now because I'm in the business, and of course I have to put my hand into it. So for me, it's rewarding. 1, 2, it's a huge challenge, definitely. And I've learned so much from my mom especially.
Yeah, so talking about learning so much from your mother, what are some of the important skills that she passed down to you that will stick with you until now?
I guess from my mom, I think it's her, like I said, patient. She has been a very patient person, running the business 15 years. It's not easy to manage people. And then, before I joined the company, she's been doing it on her own. So I think she has, for me, my mom, she has the biggest patience, and she's a perfectionist as well. So, she likes to make, her business, she knows what she wants, so she expects it to be the way, the business to run the way she wants it to be run. And especially I guess for my mom, she likes to be close to her customers so that, the customers feel like they're at home. They want it to be, she wants it to have a personal touch in the business. Yeah.
So that is how Sapphira Cake House managed to go from having a kiosk and then now having your own restaurant, cake house and cafe. Now, what are some of your advice and message for the viewers who are watching out there?
I guess, coming from myself, if you have a passion on something really, and then you feel like you're holding back because you're too afraid to face whether you're going to fail it or not. But I guess, go for it, because I have this saying that I always say to myself, even to other people as well, when there's a will, there's always a way. Yes, you may fail, but that's when you know what to do, when you fail and you can improve to make it better.
All right, viewers, we have reached the end of our interview with our special guest today, Puan Dayang Kumaria, the co-founder of Sapphira Cake House and Cafe. We have learned a lot from her journey. And if there's one thing that we could take away from her is, if there's a will, there's always a way. So always work towards your goals and achieve your dreams. In the next episode, we are going to meet another special guest to learn more about their journey in the business industry. I'm your host, Hanny Yusof. Assalamualaikum, and we would like to wish you Selamat Hari Raya Maaf Zahir Batin.